My philosophical secrets. 1. Emotional polarization example. Messianic love. Because, as I have said before, love can bring love, hope can bring hope. In other words, your feelings can become the other person's feelings. 2. The suppression of emotional evils. Example. Repentance. Because sometimes it is good to feel sorry when you have done something wrong, and by doing so, you can suppress your emotional evils. 3. Reverse psychology. Because sometimes some people always do the opposite of what you tell them to do. 4. Rational arguments. Because, for example, almost everything science says represents a rational argument. 5. Emotional training and discipline. Because people can train their positive emotions just as athletes train their bodies. 6. The problem of hell. Because sometimes people do good out of fear of hell. 7. The problem of death. Because almost any person, if threatened with death in order to do good, will do that good deed. 8. Justice. Because sometimes people do good out of fear of prison. 9. The spirit of a fighter. Because sometimes, in order to succeed in life, you must not be weak or submissive, but instead fight to obtain what you want. Of course, this is not about physical fighting, but spiritual struggle. 10. Charitable acts. Because sometimes, through your good deeds, you can become an example to everyone. 11. Appreciating values and gratitude. Because only true values can genuinely do a great deal of good. 12. It is not wise to make many enemies, because they can destroy you. 13. The balance between entertainment and work. Because sometimes those who entertain themselves too much can emotionally lose their ability to work. 14. The condemnation of violence and evil. Because sometimes teachers are less wise than children. Children know that if they were punished wisely, they would no longer do evil. 15. The condemnation of stupidity. 16. The condemnation of suffering. Because it has sometimes been proven that suffering can be a cause of physical problems. 17. The pitcher does not go too many times to the well. This means that, usually, you cannot steal forever without any risk. 18. Those with great achievements are more appreciated than those who steal. Because, for example, Bill Gates managed, through honest work, to earn more than corrupt politicians. 19. Freedom and respect for a different opinion that does no harm. Because if we did not do this, we would destroy each other like madmen. 20. The cultural and financial propaganda of truth. 21. The suppression of harmful feelings by realizing, for example, that anger harms you. Because anger is not only sometimes the cause of madness, but can also lead to terrible crimes. The suppression of anger, for example, can also be achieved with calming medication or herbal teas. The clear difference between me and, for example, my teachers is that I have solid arguments for being a decent and honorable person.